A warm welcome to all the students. I'm Chef Preeti Sinhal, an assistant professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Shivajinagar, Pune. I am a faculty of Food Production Department. Students, I have already published or recorded 4 videos, which is available on YouTube under my name, Chef Preeti Sinhal. Please do watch, and if you have any query, drop a mail on preetiyogesh@gmail.com. It will be answered within 1 or 2 days. Now this video is on topic spices, herbs, condiments and seasoning. The objective of the chapter is how these are used in Western and Indian cooking, different examples and their uses. Herbs, spices, condiments used in a Western and Indian cooking. Herbs and spices have been used for centuries to enhance flavor of the food. At one time, they were very important in masking the unpleasant flavor of the stale food. Nowadays, herbs and spices are sparingly used to give particular flavor and aromas. Herbs. What do we mean by herbs? The herb is a Latin word which means grass. Herbs are defined as leaves and stems of non-woody plants used in flavoring. It has been said that medicine developed as a byproduct of cooking. In cooking, herbs can make a significant difference to dish. Herbs are valued for their flavor and aroma. Now herbs are categorized into these 4 categories: fresh, dried, pickled and frozen. Not every season or every time the fresh herbs are available. So this can be put into dry form. It can be sun dried, it can be oven dried, or it can be in the pan. We can roast it and we can dry it. Same way, pickled. Pickled means any acid or a water in that it can be pickled for later use. Or next is frozen. In that these herbs are frozen for later use. Fresh herbs are much more gentle than dried. It normally requiring twice as much as in any recipe. When we dry anything, it concentrates the flavor. Dry herbs need time to release their flavor and are added to the food at the beginning of cooking. For an example, if we are making any pasta dish, like pasta arrabbiata or something, in the tomato sauce we're making, so in the olive oil we add garlic, and after that we add herbs, dried herbs if we are using. So it leaves the beautiful or nice aromatic flavor to it. While fresh are added near to the end. For an example, if you want to use the basil. So what do we do after almost the sauce is done or the pasta has been added to it? Then only we add the herb to it. The use of fresh or dried herbs enhances the flavor of foods without the excess use of salt. Chefs continue to create inspired dishes just by changing the herbs, spices and flavor blends they use. Although fresh herbs have the best appearance and flavor, dried herbs can be a convenient and useful alternatives, which can be used all year. Dried herbs have more concentrated flavor than fresh herbs, so much smaller quantity is required Usually 1/3 to half of the fresh herb, as we spoken earlier. When using dried herb in cooking, make sure you allow sufficient time for them to rehydrate and soften. Dry herbs are useful in marination or marinating and low cooking preparations. Dry herbs should be added in the initial stage of cooking to extract maximum flavor. There are some examples of each herb. Over here, the fresh herbs are there. Under that, the celery, chives, basil, tarragon, rosemary, fennel, parsley, coriander, or we know that cilantro, dill, mint, some more, curry leaves, marjoram, oregano, bay leaves, lemongrass, sage, marigold, thyme, or horseradish. There are many more are there, but these are some examples which can be referred to. Under that, I'll give you some of the basic knowledge about each herb. I'll start with the basil. This is a very delicate aromatic herb which is widely used in Italian and Thai cooking. It has a very sweet but slightly, pungent aroma. It goes very well with tomatoes, aubergines, fennel. As we all know, the famous pesto, Italian preparation made with basil. Now there are many varieties which follows as purple basil, then holy basil, then sweet basil, Napolitan basil, etc. Coriander or cilantro, we all know as we use so much in our Indian cooking. It gives a beautiful flavor, a beautiful color to the dish. It looks similar to the parsley. It used throughout the world where the fresh pungent flavor is required. Curries, dal, chutneys, kebabs, and it used as a garnish also. Next, I'll move to the parsley. There are two types of parsley, curly and flat leaf. Over here, I'm showing you the curly one. In parsley, only leaves are used. It goes very well with white fish, potatoes, garlic, capers. But parsley stalks can be used for stock making. It is used in garnishes, in accompaniments like a parsley butter we make. Next, I will move to celery. It is again related to parsley family only. Its leaves are vaguely similar to the herb. Celery is the second most important salad crop in value after lettuce. It is used in stocks and for garnishes. Next, I'll move to dill, the leaves. The another name, dill grows wild in Spain, Portugal, Italy. It is widely used in Scandinavian cooking. It goes very well with potato salad, courgette, and with cucumber. It is always used for oily fish preparation. It is very good flavoring in sauces, salads, and marination. Fennel. It has a very beautiful, mild, sweet flavor. Its seeds are used as spices. Chopped fennel is used in dressing, sauces, or for fish preparation. Then I'll move to mint. We all are aware, we all know very well about mint. This has a very subtle difference in flavor and aroma. It very well goes with lamb or mutton. It used in flavoring beverages like tea. It is used in a lot of chutneys, kebabs, a lot of drinks. In salads also it goes very well. It is an essential ingredient in tabbouleh or green chutney for kebabs. The next, I'll move to rosemary. It has a wonderful fragrance and flavor. Again, it is particularly used for meat dishes like chicken, lamb, game. It is a very slight, pungent in taste and goes well with dominating vegetables. It is a very strong flavor. That is why we need to use it very sparingly, as it should not overpower the flavor. Next is, I'll move to chives. Chives are onion family. It can be snipped with scissors and added to the egg preparation, which tastes amazing. Garnishes for salads and soups. They are essential ingredients for potato salad. It goes very well with soft cheese. Then we'll move to next slide. Whereas curry leaves, we all know about the curry leaves. In Indian food, curry leaves are so much used. They come from tropical tree of the citrus root family, which is native to India and Sri Lanka. It has a strong, warm, spicy aroma. The flavor is enhanced when it is added to the hot oil. Then the horseradish. It is very, very powerful, and it is a very strong smell and fiery taste. It is of the same family as mustard. It is a very good accompaniment for rich fatty food. Horseradish sauce is a classical accompaniment to beef, steak and venison. It is normally served with strong flavored oily fish and can be used as a spread also. Marigold, yes, it is a flower, but it is known as poor man's saffron during the Roman Empire. It was used to add color and flavor to rice, fish cakes and puddings. The flower heads can be used fresh in salads, in dried in soups or stews. Nowadays, these flowers are used as a garnishing also to add the color. Next, I will move to sage. Sage is over here. The leaves of this herb have potent aroma, which goes along. It goes long away. The flavor is little musky kind of a flavor. It is commonly used in stuffing for meat and for flavoring of sausages. It is a standard ingredient in bouquet garden. Then we'll move to thyme. This is again the Mediterranean herb, has a wonderful aroma and heady scent. It has a antiseptic property of its essential oil. It goes again well with slow cooking dishes, and it gives nice earthy, sweet, pungent flavor. It goes very well with tomatoes, courgette, lentils, beef, pork, scrambled eggs. So these are the bay leaf. We all know we use in a lot of cooking. It is mostly used in again Mediterranean preparation, and it has again earthy flavor. It is traditionally used in bouquet garni and for making stocks, marination, court bouillon. They are also used in dry form and in fresh form, both. Lemongrass over here. Gauti chaha, we say in our Hindi word or Marathi word, which gives a beautiful flavor when we are making tea. We use as a fresh herb. It is a scented grass. It has a bulbous base that grows in dense clumps, and the stem have a citrus aroma and flavor like a fresh lemon. From lemongrass, only the stem is edible. It goes well with seafood and chicken. It is very popular addition in curries, soups, casseroles for little bit lemony sour flavor. So these are some of the examples of fresh herbs. Now we'll move to what are the catering uses of these. As well, I was explaining, mostly I've told you, but still, in soups, these herbs are used, like sweet marjoram, one of the several herbs used in making turtle soup, for an example. In salads, this is used. Chives in focaccia salad sauce, tarragon in sauce béarnaise. These are different classic sauces in that these are used. In fresh dishes, dill with salmon trout. This is one preparation in that dill is used. After that, we'll move to the next part, which is spices. Spices. The term spice comes from the Latin word, which is roughly translated as fruits of the earth. Spices can come from any part of the plant and are dried before use. They're often ground and used in powder form. Many of them come from a hot tropical region of the world. Spices are available mostly in two forms, such as whole and ground. And in few examples, it can be fresh or it can be dried also. Dried spices need time to release their flavor and are added to the food at the beginning of the cooking, while fresh are added near the end. Spices are much more powerful. Keeping this in mind, we can understand how they can be used effectively in a very minimal quantity. The use of fresh or dried spices enhances the flavor of foods without the excess use of salt. This not only allows the taste buds to enjoy the meal, but aids in digestion as well. Chefs continues to create inspired dishes just by changing the herbs, spices, and flavor blends they use. Let's move to the classification of the spices. Some of the botanical sources are, some are roots. In that, for an example, ginger, licorice, these are the spices. In a form of bark, cassia, cinnamon, we all know, these are the bark part of the plant. The stem part of the plant, for an example, angelica, this is one spices. The bud part of a plant, for an example, cloves. Cloves are the bud part of the plant, which is used as a spice. Then flower part of the plant is, for an example, saffron. The fruits part, for an example, caraway seeds. And the seeds part, so caraway is seeds, but it's a fruits of a plant. Then under seeds part, maize, nutmeg, they are the seeds of the plant, which is used as spices. Now on the level of strength, they are divided into again three categories: hot spices, mild spices, and aromatic spices. So under hot spices, cayenne pepper, ginger, these are a little bit hot, means they give heat and they are strong flavor. Under mild spices, paprika powder, coriander, these are just some of the examples. Under aromatic spices, cinnamon, cassia, mace, nutmeg, these are some of the examples can be kept into that. Now these are some of the pictures of spices. These are coriander seeds, this is fennel seeds, this is green cardamom, this is nutmeg, chilies, this is black cardamom, this is black pepper, which are available in different colors. This is mustard seeds. We'll move to the next one. That is the cumin seed. Sorry, I just forgot. Again, this is sesame seeds. This is any seed. Sesame seeds. Again, this is pepper. So we'll go one by one to most of the star anise. This is caraway seeds. Some of the examples of the spices. Again, this is mace, this is saffron, this is turmeric, this is our, what do you call it? Vanilla. This is hinga, we call it in Hindi, or it is known as asafoetida. This is lavang, this is cassia. So these are the some examples which comes under different categories. Now, what are the importance of spices and herbs? It helps in digestion. How? Clove stimulates the flow of gastric juices. Garlic, aniseeds, asafoetida helps in better digestion and to reduce chances of hypertension. Herbs and spices are used for medicinal purposes. For those with toothache, clove oil relieves pain. Turmeric oil applied on swellings, wounds. We all know since our Dadi Nani's time, immediately something happens, something cut, they say, "Arey haldi laga lo." Or if our throat is not good, if you are having cold and cough, as an antiseptic, they say, "Arey haldi wala doodh de lo." So this is how these spices has the medicinal values. Enhances flavor, like MSG is a flavor enhancer in meat and fish dishes. Cinnamon, bay leaf, nutmeg, saffron, pepper, cloves, etc. are also enhance flavors. Then it improves the appearance. Like we add in our dishes turmeric, it immediately enhances the colors. Saffron, coriander leaves, poppy seeds, ratanjo, that gives a beautiful color to the dish, which makes it interesting. It improves palatability. If I would like to give the example, salt is the one of the most important seasoning that enhance the taste of the food. The other seasoning that improves the palatability are pepper, chilies, poppy seeds, coriander seeds, paprika, which we generally use in our day-to-day life in our food preparations. It acts as a preservatives in that salt is used extensively for preserving. Other spices under which has a preservative quality are turmeric, cloves, mustard, ginger. If you remember, when we make pickles, we use mustard, we use turmeric, we use cloves. So these are these are used as a preservatives. Ginger, garlic, then asafoetida. These are the things which act as a preservatives. Now we'll move to the next part of the chapter, which is condiments and seasoning. What do we mean by condiments? The term condiments refer to a number of seasoning which are added to prepare foods at the table. A condiment is a food item that is added to food, usually on top of the food or one of its components after it has been cooked. For an example, it includes ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, sauerkraut, banana pepper rings, salt, pepper, mustard, vinegar. Whereas seasoning is added to food before it has been fully cooked in order to allow the cooking process to either integrate its flavor into the food or to cause it to change in some way that modifies its taste. For an example, it includes spices such as thyme or coriander, sauces such as barbecue or chili sauce, and vegetables such as jalapenos, peppers or garlic. And salt or pepper are also used as a seasoning, or a mix of herbs or mix of these mixture can be used as a seasoning. Now, under that, the mustard is first. We are going to learn in that this is a mixture of ground small seeds of black mustard plant with a ground larger seeds of the white mustard plant, both coming from distinctly separate types of plant. The seed or a mix of them are ground and then sifted to produce mustard flour, which turned into a paste. Under that, there are many different kind of mustard paste are available. Into that, English mustard, American mustard, continental mustard, Dijon mustard. You must have heard all this name with one or another preparations. Under English mustard, it is a yellow paste made from yellow mustard seeds, wheat flour, turmeric, sugar, salt, and other flavoring agents or water. Again, the next is American mustard, which is made up of white mustard. Continental mustard, it is much darker in color but more milder in taste, and it contains vinegar. Dijon is traditionally prepared from the black seeds. Nowadays, it has been made from brown seeds with the husk removed, so resulting in pale blonde color. So they have a different uses in our cooking. Mustards are used in sauces such as mustard sauce, vinaigrette, and mayonnaise, as well as being served with roast or grilled beef. Classical mustard, when Dijon mustard is mixed with wine or vinegar juice, salt and spice, it is called as classical mustard. Next, we will move to the salt. You must be seeing from the very start that in houses we use very few kind of, or at least 2-3 kinds of a salt, like our regular table salt, then kala namak, which is known as black salt, then rock salt, or if our mother-in-law are fasting, they use a different kind of a salt. So these 3-4 varieties we know, but there are many more kind of or many more variety of salt which has been used in our cooking. So under that, first is table salt, finer than cooking salt, kept on the table, which is again used as seasoning or condiments both. Rock salt, sea water is evaporated and extract the salt from that. So vacuum salt, next is, this is prepared by evaporating a purified salt solution in vacuum pans to produce a salt that is 99.9% pure. Then dairy salt, it is 99.9% pure salt of a fine crystal size. Then dendritic salt. It is star-shaped crystal used in the making of sausages, particular use for particular salt. Iodized salt, which contains sodium iodine or potassium iodine. Black salt, it is dark gray in color stone which has pinkish tinge when powdered. Then there is a flavored salt. Under that, celery salt over here. Celery salt. Then onion salt, garlic salt. So this is a blend of crushed celery seed, like under celery salt, and vacuum salt, which is prepared. Under garlic salt, this is blend of crushed dry garlic and table salt. Then onion salt, in that dry onion powder and salt has been mixed. So this is how the flavored salt has been made. Next, we'll move to the pepper. There are 3 main kinds of pepper which is commonly used: black and white, paprika, and cayenne pepper. Black and white, we all know this pepper which we commonly use. This is fruit of climbing plant which is cultivated in India, Malaysia, West Indies mostly. Black and white pepper is produced from the same plant and is of the same growth. Black peppercorn are some of the fruits which are picked before they are ripe and dried in the sun or over the fire, while peppercorns are from ripe fruits which are soaked in the water and then rubbed to remove darker outer skin. The black peppercorn, being the whole fruit, is stronger in flavor than the white peppercorn. Normally, white peppercorn is used in continental cooking mostly, which does not give a blackish color to the dish, and it has a very subtle or light flavor. Next is paprika powder. This is red pepper, which is dried and crushed. It has a very mild, delicate flavor. Then canned pepper, prepared from dried red, fully ripened berries of one of the variety of chili. The fruits are ground into powder, mixed with wheat flour and yeast, and made into flat cakes or baked. The cakes are then ground down into powder and sealed. It has a very, very hot flavor and should be used very sparingly. Next is vinegar. One of the oldest condiments, vinegar is made from acetic fermentation, the process that is effect to convert the alcohol into acid. Vinegar is used as a preservative in pickles and chutneys. It is also an ingredient in marination and salad. Many centuries make their specialty vinegar based upon their alcoholic beverages. There are many varieties under that: malt vinegar, distilled vinegar, synthetic, spirit, cider vinegar, red and white wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, sherry, rice wine, flavored vinegar, then coconut, toddy vinegar. There are many types of vinegars are there. Some of them which I'll explain to you. Malt vinegar, made from, which is over here, made from sour beer. It is widely used in Britain and other European countries. It is often sold colored with caramel making. It is dark brown in color and not suitable for salad dressing. Next is distilled vinegar. This is colorless vinegar, widely known as white vinegar, which is either made from starches or grapes or sugarcane, but it is distilled. Then we all know synthetic vinegar, which is again known as white vinegar. It is purely acetic acid and water. Then comes the apple cider vinegar, made from cider, that is apple flavored beer, and praised for its health properties. It is very, very good. Then wine vinegar, it can be red, it can be white. It can be made from red and white or rosé wine. The quality of vinegar will depend on the quality of the wine. Then the balsamic vinegar. This is rich, dark, mellow vinegar made from grape juices, which is fermented in wooden barrels for minimum 4 to 5 years. This is normally used in a lot of preparation, and it can be used in salad dressing also. Then we have a sherry vinegar. Sweet and mellow sherry vinegar is as good as balsamic vinegar. It is left for maturation in wooden barrels. It is caramel in color. Then comes the rice vinegar. The vinegar fermented from rice is dark amber in color, and vinegar from rice grain is distilled to get clear white vinegar. Normally it is used in Chinese and Japanese cooking. Then comes the toddy vinegar. Over here. Vinegar obtained from toddy, the juice of coconut palm, which is fermented. Then there are some more coconut vinegar is there. That is widely used in Philippines. This is made from coconut nectar, tapped from the flower sheaves of matured coconut plants. Then there is a pond vinegar. This is Japanese vinegar, is made from juice of citrus fruits, which has a very delicate flavor. So these are some of the vinegars which can be used in cooking. Then next comes the another condiments and seasoning. Under that, soya sauce. It is used all over the world, not merely as a condiment but as an ingredient also. Tomato ketchup. This is sweet, vinegary, slightly spicy sauce, is a classical condiments. And pesto, we all know, this classical basil sauce, and is sometimes flavored with bell pepper and sun-dried tomato. That can also be used as condiment. And Tabasco, it is made from very hot Tabasco or corn chilies. Chili sauce, The best known Asian chili sauce comes from China. It is made from chilies, salt and vinegar. Then olive oil and flavored oil under that, almond, lemon. It can be hazelnut, walnut, mustard seeds, etc. So these are some of the pictures: tomato sauce, soy sauce, chili sauce, olive oil, Tabasco. So guys, this is like herbs, spices, condiment and seasoning chapter. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any doubt, please do write me a mail or ask in a comment section. I will get back to you as soon as possible. The AISSMS students who's watching this video, there is a questionnaire link which you have to attempt. Thank you so much.